Magnetic north, that's what I'm calling this. This is very freaking important, so I need everybody to pay attention because I'm throwing caution to the wind on this one. Magnetic north, what do we know about magnetic north and the compass? It's because your ultimate goal with a compass is to find home. Home. Magnetic north, a lot of times in the old school days, if you can point on a map and find magnetic north, guess what? You are on your way home. Whether you're sailing, walking, whatever. So, our two human bodies, we are home. Okay, if this is my opponent, my idea of home is his body, his head, me attacking him. That's magnetic north to me. I am magnetic north to him. Okay? So, what is the goal of Wing Chun? What is the goal of any Kung Fu or any martial art? Take the opponent out of your circle of peace. Right? In order to do that, if they're inside your circle of peace, you gotta find that opponent. And that's why you have a word like Chum Q, and whether you want to say sinking the bridge or seeking the bridge, seek, S-E-E-K, that tells you gotta find a bridge. Either one, you make it yourself, two, is cross, or three, sometimes even the opponent has actually hit you them dang selves. Either way, you seek. Right? Once you seek that bridge, what does a bridge do? Connect two landmasses together. Home. So we're going to talk about magnetic north. Now, the first idea of magnetic north that I'm going to put out there is Tai-yun. Because there's a point in Chum Q. A lot of you don't do this, but I'm going to make a point that y'all need to start doing this if you're not practicing like this already. For some reason, y'all get to this point, you've already done your kick out here, and you start gum sounding, right? And all of a sudden, you'll see this. If for some reason, just by sake, if this opposite leg here to my hand here, because we're dealing with a cross hand situation, even though he's using the leg. If I'm blocking something from him here, but he still happens to be facing me, let's say he has an arm here, maybe it's going to do something, right? I had blocked here, you saw that point. But if I just go to here, he's already popped me before I ever got there. Makes no dang sense. Makes no incredible sense whatsoever. Alright, because most of the time we're dealing with cross hands. Even if you're doing parallel, and let's just say I just happen to be crossing here and go like this. Well, his hand is already up. And his hand is already going to hit me, and my hand is already going over into an angle over here. It's bypassed him. Still did no dang good. So we have Tai-yun, for example, because if I had crossed here and this hand is coming, I could just move that out of the way by just doing like that. You see how the balance went off? All I have to do is do this number. Tai-yun has the raising of the hand, but it ain't, I'm not gonna cuss, but it ain't jack squat unless you move your hips back in a sununda position. Right? If I do this and I move my hand, strong, everything, strong. So if I do this and I just do this, I ain't moving this arm. It's not happening. And realize I told him to say strong because I don't want this crap of what you see out there in YouTube land or anywhere else where the student just magically moves because the teacher. No, F that. Make me earn it. Just like he has to earn it. Just like you have to earn it. Let's start earning our keep in Wing Chun. That's how I feel. I love to get hit. He know that. even though it's not in the nose so much. But I'm cool with that, you know, as long as he's learning. But the whole point, earn your keep. Earn it. So he has a point. I can't just do this, but if and I'm doing the wrong stance, but if I just shift my hips towards him, I have gained this back. That's Tai-yun. It's not just the fist. It has to all come together. Chum-kyu, the whole body. It's about body freaking unity. Now that I said that, this is where the magic of magnetic north happens, because that's one part. But I want y'all to really pay attention to this, because sometimes Chum-kyu and Sunum Dao are some you-know-whats. If you really pay attention to the form, it's telling you secrets you can't, when it hits you, you're just like, wow, pop. All right, so check this out. It's not just about gum sign twin angle to come up. What if I said that Chum-kyu is actually telling you to use Tai-yun because maybe you're the one being gum-sound, and it's telling you how to repel or gain back your sense of magnetic north from being gum-sound. Yeah, right? Your eyeballs just went open. Yeah, Kung Fu would do that. A lot of the old school Kung Fu would tell you how these other animals attack. They'll even tell you how you yourself will attack, just in case you got a tiger versus a tiger, a crane versus a crane. You gotta know these secrets. What if another Wing Chun man tries to take you out for fame? It can happen. So you have to think that kind of mentality. You have to play war games with this stuff. If you don't, you're gonna be one of them pretty Wing Chun people like this all day, and you'll never know the secret of what it's trying to tell you. Good luck with your skill if you don't. So if he's parallel to me, right? He can push me into cross hands by putting that gum sow down. You see that? Now if he pins me right because it's gum sow, I can't just be lifting up without his say so. Right? I'm stuck. But if I just understand, stay right there. If I just understand the lifting of this arm and the shifting of my hips, and allow myself, when someone pushes you down, your spine is bending. Look at the bend of my spine. Hold on, hold this part right here and look. You see my spine? Boy, that looks all crumpled up. But to have your spine straighten up, to lift a hand, to shift the hip, watch. So he has me down pinned, right? Get it good, yes sir. What just happened? I broke it. I broke the gum sow. If you ain't, look, Chu Shun Tin, I've seen him do this so many times and I didn't get it. Until a couple of minutes ago, I was up against this wall. He came back from checking his car, and guess what? It finally popped. It finally popped. And I have been seeing Chu Shun Tin doing this for ages on a video on YouTube, and I didn't understand it. Now I do. It's starting to pop. And I may go into my next, I'm 40 now, 9 years and 1 month until the point I'm 50, and I may finally get it. Why am I telling y'all this crap now? Because I ultimately hate this circle of death. that the whole world does. And what happens is you done finally got all the answers and all the knowledge and all the wisdom at age 50, 60 years old, and then the next generation has to wait until they're 50 and 60 to get it. That's not right at all. What's supposed to happen is the teachers, the wise people, I'm going to steal this from the 5% nation, the 5% is supposed to teach the other 85 or so percent what the truth is. So they don't fall in the same pitfall that you did. That's the whole point of Kung Fu. That's real Wing Chun. Real anything, right? And then one day if you just do that, and it may take my death until it finally happened, you'll have another Masoyama. You'll have another Bruce Lee. You'll have that again. But it's not going to happen if we don't start now. Now that I said that. So why is it important that I just mentioned that gum style is pressing on the arm? It's because really, in all due fairness, we're playing gum style a little bit stupid, and I will still do it to the day I die because I'm so used to it, where we're blocking these kicks all the way down here. A lot of times we'll overblock, and at force, it's going to hurt our elbow. It's going to hurt our shoulder. The true idea of gum style is supposed to be bent right here, and you're supposed to relax the shoulder, and you shouldn't be going all the way down to block no leg. If anything, you should be using your legs to block legs. Honest truth. So in this case, if I have my gum sign, he's going to practice this because he needs to feel this energy. This energy is powerful right now. If I take this gum sign and I just press, and he's feeling me press, and I'm telling you guys, from my leg on up into this, I'm pressing. There's a difference between where he's standing now and then when I press. You see that difference? It's not just going to be the lifting of this arm. It's going to be the stretch of the spine completely going straight up. It's the shifting of his hip going straight into me from a Chum Q neutral position stance into a Sunum Dao neutral position so he can face me. If he does it all together, my body should move back with force. Go for it.
You didn't sell that, did you?
I don't sell crap. I'm going to tell you something about me. I'm going to tell y'all a little secret about me. I was in a system called Goshin Jitsu. Goshin Jitsu. It's a form of judo that in the military they had like, it was like karate very much, but on the flip side it uses more judo throws and stuff like that. It is within the system of judo itself. A lot of people don't know about this system, but when you find out about it, it is one of the most complete martial arts systems as far as like the ideas of MMA. If you was just going to put that together, you can see it in this system, but it's an old system. I used to be called Mr. No Tap. Mr. No Tap, that means I didn't do this. You know why? Because if you didn't have the move on me, I wasn't going to tap. I don't give a dang how long it took. It could be the whole hour, whole 2 hours worth of class. If you did not have that submission on me, I wasn't going to tap. And oh, by the way, I bet you I'd get out of it and I'll make you tap before I do. I once had 3 people with 3 different limbs, neck, arm, leg. And they were all doing the submission at once. I didn't tap. Hell, I was just sitting there chilling. I got out of all 3 and made them tap while they were still holding on to me. Because I was Mr. No Tap. That is my legacy. So my idea of not selling the move, my idea of not all that crap, I've always been that way. I live in the hood. with games. No, we don't sell crap. You take it like a man and you dish it out like a man. That's how I run my school here. Okay? Crips and Bloods. Anyway, so doing this on this side because I want y'all to see what's going on. Y'all saw the back, how his back was. Okay? I'm pressing that gum sow. Now, right? His legs are faced this way. When you open a Wing Chun book, guess what you see? What's the first thing you see? You see two guys faced like this. All of a sudden you see one guy faced like this. And then you see another diagram with a guy faced like this. Sunam Dao neutral. Chum Q neutral. Bu G neutral. That's the start of it. No book says it like that. I say it like that. There's reasons for this. So I got it and I'm pressing. Now, I'm not grabbing, but I'm pressing. I'm just practicing the idea of gum sow. If you have a gum sow on a human opponent, guess what? A lot of times it is best to lop. It's best to lop like this. So, right there. In this case, I'm not lopping. All right? All he has to do, he has, and one more thing before he does this, because he's going to do it right, I already know. He's doing it already well with one time. When y'all do Wing Chun, you have to mentally see the skill happening, and it has to be in your soul or in your spirit to want to do it. It is not just some pretty you-know-what BS that y'all want to do. Or you like martial arts, well, I'm willing to die for this, which means I'm willing to go all out to, a lot of times, try to disprove the skill. And when I can't disprove it any further, I have to accept it as an absolute truth, all caps. That's the philosophy side of me. I love philosophy. So when you're thinking about this technique, it's not just doing the form all the time. You have to mentally understand and get yourself into the idea of, it's not just this. You gotta have all yourself in it. Mind, spirit, heart, body, everything. Chum Q is not just about straightening up your hip, straighten up your body unity and crap. It's more than body unity. Body unity is just a phrase we use because, frankly, they're telling you to get everything together. The truth is, it's not just body unity, it's all yourself. All of you. Mind, heart, body, spirit, hips, feet, knees, elbows, shoulder, head. The eyes have to be focused. When he's right here, even if he could see me, it's difficult. You got to see your opponent. He has to get to a point and say, I need to see my opponent. So when he straightens out, he can see me now. Get it? If you can't see an opponent, you're done. Period. I'm going to be a little bit devilish about this. I'm not going to hit him, but I'm just going to show you what kind of evil mentality I am capable of doing and have done in the past when you face somebody like me, because I will take you out. Here we go. I would do something like this and have you angled, right? And it'll be that one person when I deal with them, their head is down and everything just like that. And guess what? Or I will take the head out right from that point. They're not going to see it. And I got them pinned enough that by the time they do pop back, their head is out. And I used to go home and mentally I used to write this on a piece of paper. Oh, if the body structure is like this, it has to get to a point when it springs back into form. By that time, I should have hook kicked them right in the back of the dang head, right there where their brainstem is, and now they can't even see me because they have all the lights flashing in their eyes. When you stop a person in the back of the neck, they see those yellow, green, and black spots. They can't see straight. I would do that to a person on purpose. Yeah. That's how I used to be that Taekwondo championship guy. That's how I used to conquer people. I would study people. I would go to your school, watch you fight the whole entire time, make notes, go home, decipher the code of how I wrote the notes, because I wrote it in code. Then say, okay, this is how I'm going to beat the guy. I will go to your tournament, I'll go to your school, I'll go to wherever I need to go to, I'll take you out, then I'll go home. That's how I used to work. And I did this for years. So a lot of my oomph that you're hearing, a lot of that, everything about me comes from the past and how I used to just manipulate things in order to win, right? Only manipulate things when it comes to martial arts. When it comes to everything else, I'm a pretty cool, nice guy. Anyway, so I got this pinned down here, and that's all he's doing with this magnetic north. Now, here's the thing. We're not even talking about this fist landing the punch. We're not even talking about that. So when he raises this up, this is to regain his structure back. If it just so happens this is a brick wall, so be it. I take that brick wall hit, because he straightened me out and I just happen to fly back. You get what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with the punch actually landing. It's about recovery. This is actually part. Chum Q, in this case with Tai-yun and all that, and I'm saying magnetic north, is actually the first beginnings that you understand crap before you even touch BUG. What would happen if we learned recovery from Sununda and Chum Q first before ever touching BUG? We would be the most dangerous people on the planet, because we would understand how to get back into Sununda Chum Q neutral versus BUG, because you know you're not supposed to do BUG forever, right? You're not gonna do this the whole fight. That's crap. It's all crap. So it's not for that. It's eventually you are at this point, you way off. You know, you may deal with this opponent, cool. That may be the end of it, but there's an opponent right there sitting for you. And if you think you're just gonna bring this dude back and hook, no. There's more secrets to be told. I have a whole lot of them because I studied this system. So he's gonna do this to me 3 more times each arm. His whole goal is to straighten himself out. It has nothing to do with the true punch. Just to straighten himself out. That's gonna create magnetic north. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna start here. And I want y'all to be able to see it from this side. I want to tell y'all Will is doing a great job with this, because he did not even know what I was going to do with this crap. I just threw this at him. He's working with it effectively. So, here we go. Good. If you saw that time, I put a little bit more pressure in my knees. I had a little bit more of a stoutness there. He still was able to bring me up. So
he puts a little more on from that last one.
So we're not playing when it comes to these stances. We're not playing when it comes to this skill. The idea is victory or victory. Either you learn or you won. So here. All right. I'm gonna put a little extra oomph into it, put a little extra seasoning into this sucker. Here we go. In that one, I didn't bring my feet in, but I put a touch of Ichikunyumai into it, bent my knees just a little bit more, and hardened my body just a tiny bit. Maybe about 2-3%. Did you feel it?
Yes.
So yeah, we don't play here. So that is Tai-yun, and that's the idea of magnetic north. So with all the other Wing Chun people, a lot of you just borrow off of who that guy? A lot of you just borrow off of David Peterson, and the only thing y'all know is knocking their hand off center, and that's all you know about Tai-yun. That's all you freaking know. You don't know what the details of it is. So I just gave a little tiny bit to you. Also, please understand that that doesn't mean there wasn't a counter where you did not have to use Tai-yun, or you did not have to go magnetic north or whatever. There's many ways to deal with things. What my issue is, a lot of times, goes back to the old me. And he can tell you this for a natural fact, that a lot of the stuff I teach, nothing's really changed. I still pretty much teach the same exact way as the first time he met me to now. But like, those two things are true. Probably three things. One, if I know I need to change, I will. If I know I need to change, I will. And I will publicly say, you know what, there's a change going on because I realize my faults. That's one. Two, when I keep climbing the web ladder of Wing Chun, by the time you even get close to me, I've already graduated 10-20% higher, because I'm constantly studying this. The day comes that if Will ever catches up to me in the same level, two things are true. Either one, I got lazy, or two, I'm dead. That's it. That's gonna be it. I don't know what 3 is. Maybe I didn't have a 3. But here we go. We're gonna go into something else when it comes to magnetic north. And I'm gonna explain what magnetic north is now. We're gonna give a clear definition of what this crap is. Magnetic north has a lot to do with mother core. Now y'all Wing Chun people are gonna get it. When y'all hear that, it's like, oh, why did I put this at the end? Because guess what? I know a lot of you ain't gonna make it to this point. I set it up. Yeah, if you're a beginner, you're not gonna get to this point. Y'all already done clicked off the dang video. If you're if you're in discipleship and mastery, you at least got to this point where it's like, oh, now that's why that works. Yes, mother core to mother core. That's my goal. If they'll say, if you can control the head, you can control the whole body. Guess what? If you can control the hips, you can control the whole body too. That's a second head. Both of them are actually mother cores. So that's why if we're like this, if he just lift his arm up, straighten up his spine, but don't shift his hips. Okay? If he straightens up if he fixes his hips or whatever, but don't straighten his spine up, it ain't happening. Now, if he does it all together, get it? So that means when one of your students do that same technique I just said, same technique, and whatever, one is they want to be able to see you. 2, mother core. They have to get back to a point that they say, okay, either I'm going to control this situation or they're going to control me. how I'm going to deal with this, I need to get back to magnetic north. That's the goal. I have to get back to this point. That's what View G actually is. And that's why a lot of times he'll say, well, sometimes it's called standing compass. True. It's because you have to get back to where? Home. You have to get back to home. That's how it works, you know. And it's not about, a lot of y'all Wing Chun people, when y'all think about head, sometimes y'all just think about going for the head or grabbing behind the head. Okay, I'm a big tall dude, right? I'm 6'3". How tall are you?
5'8".
5'8". He is the height I wanted to be. Because Bruce Lee is like 5'7.5", 5'8". So I was like, dang it, when I passed that point, I was so mad at myself, drinking too much milk. Anyway, but with even me, and I'm a tall dude, he has his hand out. And that may be a point I can't reach for his head. So why am I going to play head games? Not at this point. How do I get to that point of mother court? Guess what? If I just pay attention to what Wing Chun is telling me, then I got the head. Forget trying to reach. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can even do this. Like, I know I want Ray Tanaz to try this in his sparring. If there's a chance or a possibility, it's not about chasing hands, it's about control. If you've got sparring pants that's good enough to hold, you can go right here to control right here and be able to fight here. Now I can get here because I have that. You get what I'm saying? That's important. Sometimes you gotta know how to take the limbs to take the head. If you have the limbs and you got all this control, you can control the whole body. You don't need the head. That's what Wing Chun teaches you. You know, I want people to open their eyes and just wake up a little bit. Now, going back to magnetic north. How you feel about it? Yeah, this some crazy stuff, ain't it? Boy.
Can't wait to practice.
When Will comes to the door, a lot of times he don't know what I'm teaching. Sometimes up until the point he gets to the door, I don't know how it's gonna pop off. I'm reminded of my Uncle Oscar. My Uncle Oscar would make notes of his ministry that he's gonna do on Sunday. He'll be in the pulpit, he's right there, and he balls it up, throws it in the trash, and he doesn't even preach on the one thing he was been writing off about the whole night. How do I know? Because I slept in his study. I'll be up with him when he's talking about what he's writing about, and then when it comes to that Sunday, he's not preaching what he wrote about. I'm the same kind of way. I'm exactly the same way. So, that was magnetic north coming from here to here. That's true, because if I go from Tai-yun to here, I'm getting him off the angle. And I'm glad he put some more strength in that, because that just showed what can happen. It's not about the fist hitting the opponent half the time. It really ain't. Matter of fact, I love the fact that it happens, because if you know about the Wing Chun with dummy, for example, there are points when people, they'll go like this and kick, or they may go like this and kick, right? If you do something like Tai-yun and he's strong enough and I don't get the punch off, but he's going off balance, then I can kick as he's going off. I even sell him even more than what his body's projecting. Which means this can be manipulated. And I love body manipulation. That's what martial arts is. It's not just being manipulative or making someone block or strike the way you do. It's sometimes about the energy and how you manipulate it. So I'll give you an example. I'm only do this 3 separate times because I need to see this. Either it can happen just the way it did, and I do this, right? Or I come from here And I decided to just put a little bit, but not so much. You see where you stepped there compared to the first time? So I can say in my mind, if I practice this with enough times and enough skill, you do it 1,000 times, not one time each day. Do this like James Brown. James Brown didn't quit, you don't either. So if I have him only go so far in this point, and it just goes about this far. Let's say it's about this far. Bam! I got him. Because you're not going to always have a person that's going to sell off like that. The more resistance a mofo gives you, the better. Because then you'll know it doesn't always work that way. Now you have to go into something else like kicking or switching the stance off and manipulating the trump Q side. Whatever you got to do. So it's not just about, please, do not think it's all about just selling people back all day. No, manipulate the entire thing. Because one thing about Tyease, if I die, and he was gonna say that my Wing Chun has one word, hold on, what does it say? Hopefully it didn't say something wrong. If he said my Wing Chun comes under one word and one word only, what would it be? Do you remember?
One word.
It's all about
Not mastery.
Oh, it's not about mastery, no.
No.
You used to say it all the time, but now he ain't saying it. It's blocking out now. Control. If my Wing Chun does anything, it's all about control. Control is number one. I control the whole situation, control the whole area, control everything. Everything. I own it. Control. I know where you're about to go. I know how you're about to go. Control. If I just have to get hit in between that, that's cool. As long as I control the situation, you can win the battle, I'm going to win the war. That's basically it. So, last thing about this. Last thing touching. Okay, here we go. In other videos, and some of the videos y'all ain't seen because I ain't uploaded yet, I know it's gonna take some time in development. I talked about Jiao Sao. And a lot of times with Jiao Sao, sometimes it can be about controlling the weaker side to change. And I deal with this side. He has a good guard up. I felt that. That is smart. Anybody who feels that their weaker side is about to get attacked, you make it strong real quick, right? And that way you're not manipulated by the person. Great freaking job for doing that. Thank you, sir. Now, he did that on his own. I didn't teach him that. Smart. So, his Wing Chun is progressing. Now, here's where I want him to relax a little bit, because that little tense up part is where I want him to magnetic north. Okay? So, if he was taking my weaker side, take it. Right? And let's say he's going into that same point, especially like Gam Sao or anything else, because Jiao Sao is just that movement. It is not a technique within itself. Then I want to completely straighten myself up. You see what I'm getting at? Now, he did a smart thing by, once I did that, he grabbed and walked back, because he can maintain distance. If you know something about me, it's all about distance and timing as well. Control. Part of control is distance and timing. If I say control first, because distance and timing is already with it, I don't have to say distance and timing. So if you get what I'm saying, all I'm doing is that when I take this weaker side and it goes to this point, he automatically magnetic north straight out. Now watch. Now, if he stays here, I'm gonna show you what just happened. I'm putting this arm down. I'm gonna put this arm forward, and you see what just happened. He has already struck me. He struck me with the weaker side that has now become magnetic north. That is what I had in my brain.
Hampton Hong, bro.
Boy, dude, look.
Hampton Hong.
For those of you who need to know what my school is all about, I got a video for you. That Hampton Hong ain't no joke. This is what I bleed for. Hampton Hong. One almost 130 years worth of history, because there was no martial arts schools up in this United States. Excuse me, and I'm not the only one. I'm not trying to ego trip that, but I'm telling you, we one of the main ones. We was already in Arkansas. Too bad it was Jim Crow era, or else we probably would have had a bunch of mix of great people up in one school. And Hampton Hong would have been #1 way back then. Anyway, so doing it on this side, I'm just going to show y'all that difference, okay? I'm actually taking that weaker side and I'm trying to control it myself. His duty to get back the control of himself is to straighten his tail up. And I'm there. It's there, right? Does that make sense? So he's gaining back his control. If you lose control, regain your control. That's what also BUG is all about. Now realize through this whole video, I didn't teach BUG this whole time. But when you're talking about BUG and using it, it's all about the recovery back to where? Sunum Dao Chum Kyu. We only use Chum Kyu and Sunum Dao skill. Do you know what the ultimate goal is of what I just did with this video?
Keep your warheads to simple down.
Keep yourself to Sunum Dao and Chum Kyu. Don't be so quick to BUG just because you want to show it off, or just because you want to see if it works. Don't be so quick to do that. The only time you do that is when you have more than 2 opponents, because Chum Kyu is already telling you that you can deal with 3 by yourself right there with that form. 3 opponents. When you have more than that, or if the opponent is so freaking magnanimous that you have no other choice but to use it, I get it. But don't go doing Ip Man Part 2 on some weak ass fool. I did say ass. Some weak ass fool that's because you want to feel like you want to be like Ip Man versus the boxer at the end. I'm sick of this crap. That's why all y'all losing right now. Even at 40 and all these health problems, I ain't losing like that. Excuse me. So he's gonna do it a couple of times where I'm going from here. I'm gonna take this weaker side. All he has to do is straighten himself out. That's it. Good. 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 And I almost tripped over myself. Right? No, outside. Better. Yeah, right. That time it's my fault.
Yeah,
And one of the reasons I'm still healing with my wrist right here, I have a hard job to do, so yeah, that wrist be hurting. That's better. One more time with that side, cause that wrist. Good. Magnetic north. Now, question, and be honest to everybody that's there. how much of that did it take of you to do that?
Quite a fair bit, you know. It wasn't just, you know, I had to put some oomph in it. I had to, you know, really invest in, I had to get into the technique. I had to put some likeness into it. It wasn't just cakewalk.
No. And that's what Kung Fu means. Hard work achieving excellence. Hard work of what? Sometimes with these skills, it's about telling the truth on yourself. You gotta look in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm a lazy dog. I'm pretty lazy with my Kung Fu. Am I really putting my really good oomph into it? Am I just playing the role and just moving on? You have to be honest with yourself. You have to expose every flaw. Kung Fu will not work for you if you can't tell the truth on yourself. That's being honest. You have to expose every badness about yourself, because Kung Fu works for the honest. It works for the truthful. It works for those who wants to better themselves. It works for the people that want to turn away from anything that will stop them from the greatness of who they are. And there's one student, I hope, when I show this to them, I hope they get it. Sometimes you can't be a free bird. Sometimes you just can't do what the heck you want to do. I have sacrificed a lot for this skill, so much so that I'm not even living the kind of life that I want to live. But that's Kung Fu. So you have to eventually work on yourself, and you have to tell the truth on yourself. And in that case, Kung Fu will win. Sacrifice nothing for this style, or sacrifice nothing. Oh, wait. Let me rephrase that. There is nothing on this earth you cannot sacrifice for the empowerment or the betterment of this skill. That's what I'm trying to say.